Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for coverage of the SCSRA Xfinity Series. Tonight, these Xfinity cars will be taking on Iowa Speedway for 130 laps of racing action. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight here for the Hawkeye 110. My name is Atlee Atmanleese, and I'm excited to call all the racing action here tonight. We did not broadcast last week the race at Indianapolis. I had some real-life racing obligations, but I do have the results in the current standings after last week. Devin Buchino won last week at Indianapolis, the full 2.5-mile oval track, not the road course. And Devin Buchino led 13 laps. He did not lead the most laps, but of course he led the one that counted, which was the last lap. Second place was Colin Willems. Third was Cody Moore. Fourth was Joe Wright. And rounding out your top five, it was Jeffrey Belk. Clint Stone started on the pole and led the most laps with 38, but looks like something happened and he manually disconnected before the race ended. So after Indianapolis, we have, 8 races in the books here in the SCSRA Xfinity Series. This season is flying by, and right now, Devin Buchino leads the standings with a 10-point lead between him and Cody Moore. Third place right now in the standings is Colin Willems. Fourth is Clint Stone, and rounding out your top 5 is Blake Hensley. Sixth place is Will Witt. Seventh is Eddie Morris. Eighth is Kyle Mays. Ninth is Michael Provell. And rounding out your top 10, we have Brian Newdy. Team standings also very important in this series. And right now, the number one team this season has certainly been Wasted Wages Racing. Out of all of their drivers, they have 2 wins this season. Both of them came from Colin Willems. Second right now in the team standings is CCM. And they have 2 wins this season. One of them came from Blake Hensley, and one of them came from Brian Newdy. Third in the team standings is Neon Racing, whose driver Devin Buchino has 3 wins this season, which makes up the entire win count for Neon Racing. Fourth is the Maze Mafia Racing, their leading driver is Clint Stone, who has 1 win this season. Rounding out your top 5 in the team standings is Intensity DBC Racing, who is yet to break into the win column. Right now, their highest driver in the standings is Jeffrey Belk, who definitely has a good chance of winning here tonight at Iowa. And then lastly in the team standings, it is 2 pedals, 1 clutch, who also has not broken into the win column, but they have had a very successful driver this year in Michael Provell, who sits 9th in the point standings and also has a pretty good chance of winning here tonight at Iowa. Of course, we have to thank the series sponsor for all of their support, Dev Sports Cards. Dev Sports Cards was established in 2013 by SCSRA driver and Neon Racing team owner Devin Buchino. Dev Sports Cards specializes in all your sports cards and gaming cards needs. From football, baseball, and basketball cards to Pokemon, Dev Sports Cards sells it all. On their eBay store, you can find a wide variety of items from high-end sports cards to their weekly 99-cent starting bid 7-day auctions. Don't have time to sell your own cards? Reach out to Devin and ask about his consignment services. Simply package them up, ship them out, and Devin will get them listed, sold, and then you get paid. Dev Sports Cards can be found on eBay with 4,000 plus positive feedback, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Dev Sports Cards is a proud sponsor of the SCSRA series and Intensity Broadcasting, so go support somebody who supports the league, supports our hobby of iRacing, and check out Dev Sports Cards. Qualifying is underway here at Iowa Speedway. Drivers will get 2 laps to try to set their best possible lap time. That will determine where they start on the grid to begin this race. And not a good start for Zachary Cox. He gets loose coming off of turn number 4, and it looks like he may have crossed the start-finish line. So that will eliminate his first lap, so he'll really only get 1 lap to decide it, I believe. There is Brett Merle heading out onto the track in the number 11 machine, the Kinleyville Barbershop car. Brett Merle is still searching for his first win of the season. Might come here tonight at Iowa Speedway. I know Brett always very, very good at these short tracks. We see Derek Chaput to the top of the board with a 24.45. Nobody else has turned a qualifying lap yet, though. Here's Brett Merle heading off at turn number 4. So far, so good for the 11. We see Josh Hall to second with a 25. And look at this, Brett Merle to the top of the board, 24.06 for Brett Merle. That will put him 0.2 ahead of second place Derek Chaput. Michael Provolt, the number 1 driver on 2 pedals, 1 clutch, heading out onto the track now. Cody Moore, very good on these short tracks. He heads to the top of the board with a 23.92. That'll put him about 1/10 ahead of second place Brett Merle. Cody Moore, certainly one of the favorites to win here tonight at Iowa. There is the 28 machine of Brian Newty heading through 3 and 4, getting ready to begin his first lap. A little bit squirrely there. And we see on the first lap, Brian Newty, he will turn a 24.11. That will put him 0.2 off of first place Cody Moore. Brian Merle Jr. able to get to third with a 24.09, putting him also around 0.2 off of Cody Moore. Second lap for Newty is an improvement to a 23.98, putting Newty only 0.05 off of first place Cody Moore. So right now we've only seen 2 drivers break into the 23s, Cody Moore and Brian Newty, who in my opinion are 2 of my favorites to win here tonight. David Hartney in the 43 heading out onto the track now. Hartney searching for his first win of the season here tonight. Same thing with another driver, Mark Shavers. Shavers is looking for his first win of the season. Brian Newty continues to stay out on track even after he has turned his 2 required qualifying laps, just getting a little bit of extra practice in. Intensity Broadcasting is proud to be partnered with Butt Kicker. For those of you who don't know what Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker brand haptic transducers lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Butt Kicker brand products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers worldwide. Butt Kicker products' patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is the new and upgraded sim racing and gaming haptic hardware that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one is right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. Again, thebuttkicker.com. Every single day when I'm on iRacing, I always make sure to turn on that Butt Kicker because it makes for a very, very accurate experience on the sim. After I got my Butt Kicker, and I say this every time, it was the most accurate I'd ever felt on iRacing to real life. And I race in real life. I drive bandoleros all across Virginia and North Carolina. And once that Butt Kicker turned on, you can feel all the rumble strips, the tires spinning, the gears shifting. It was the closest I had felt to racing in real life. So if you're looking to try to make your iRacing experience much more accurate to how it feels in real life, a Butt Kicker is definitely a must-have. So make sure, again, check it out on thebuttkicker.com. And I'm sure you can talk to any of the Intensity Broadcasting team. I know Joe Wright is using his tonight. Josh Hall is using his tonight. They can tell you how awesome it is and how much it helps you. The one thing that I think it especially helps me with, especially in the truck series, is you can feel the tires spinning So you know that you are eating the right rear and the right front tires. And you know that you might need to change something so you're not burning up your tires as much. We take a look back now to qualifying. Devin Buchino went to the top of the board with a 23.90. And Will Witt was able to get to second with a 23.90. So it ended up coming down to the 1,000th or 10,000th of a second to determine who would start on the pole. Looks like iRacing determined it was Devin Buchino who had the faster lap. Derek Chapu on track right now in that 37 machine. And there we go. Blake Hensley heading off of turn number 4. He won last night in the Truck Series at Las Vegas, but this is a whole nother ball game here at these short tracks, and he's able to get to 6th with a 24.00. Watch out for Blake Hensley. Always got to keep your eye out for him on these short tracks. There's one driver that's itching for his first win of the season. That's Eddie Morris in the 8 machine Morris Customs. He currently sits in 9th on the board. The man from Soddy Daisy, Tennessee, it is Todd Mays. He turns a 24.92 for his first lap. Wow, that is a second off of Clint Stone, who is on the top of the board. And Clint Stone is on the top of the board. I did not see that. That will put Clint a 10th ahead of second place Devin Buchino. Clint Stone so far has the most poles this season with 4. Looks like he's going to add another one to his total. Now, here are going to be my keys to the race tonight. Starting off, saving those tires, especially the right front and the right rear. Don't want to burn those up. Early on, definitely want to be conservative with those tires so you can have good long runs here on track. Of course, always have to be aware of the short track shenanigans that ensue here at these tracks below a mile. Especially in this series, we see typically throughout the race cautions and wrecks, so you always have to be prepared to try to go around one and just always have your eyes ahead, anticipating something to happen. Be careful losing the car off of the corner exits. Turns 4 and turn 2, I've seen a lot of drivers struggle, especially off of turn number 4. Just definitely have to be careful. Easing back into the gas, not using the throttle like a light switch to make sure that your car doesn't spin around. Lastly, and this is going to be a very, very fast track here tonight, it is nighttime, cool temperatures on the racing surface, which means that it'll be a very, very fast track. Some fast lap times are going to be turned here tonight. This is going to be an awesome race. You do not want to miss a thing. This league always puts on heck of very good shows on these short tracks. Let me know who your pick to win is in the chat. 21 drivers to choose from. Very good field of drivers. This should be a fun one. So here we go. We are gridding for tonight's feature event. Here's a look at your starting lineup. Starting on the pole with a 23.797. It is the 99 machine of Clint Stone getting his 5th pole of the season. Outside of him, it is your point standings leader, Devin Buchino in the 68. Third, we have Wasted Wages Racing's machine of Will Witt. 4th is Cody Moore, and rounding out your top 5, we have member of the Mays Mafia. It is Todd Mays in the 9. 6th, we have Wasted Wages Racing driver Colin Williams starting right behind his teammate in 6th. 7th is CCM's Blake Hensley in the 88. 9th, we have Mr. Brian Nudie in the 28. 9th, we have another member of the Mays Mafia, Kyle Mays in the 55. And rounding out your top 10, it is CCM's Eddie Morris in the 8. 11th, we have Brett Merlin, the 11. 12th is Brian Merle Jr., starting right outside of his brother, representing Neon Racing here tonight. 13th, it is Intensity Broadcasting Zone, Josh Hall in the 81. 14th is Wasted Wages Racing driver of Derek Chappie in the 37. And rounding out your top 15, it is Intensity DBC's Jeffrey Belk in the 54. And 16th, it is Intensity Broadcasting Zone, Joe Wright in the 82. 17th is the Marco's Pizza Man, Mark Shavers in the 6. 18th, we have Two Pedals, One Clutches, Michael Provolt in the 95. 19th is Zachary Cox in the 51, another Two Pedals, One Clutch driver. And rounding out your top 20, we have the 43 machine of David Hartney. Last but not least, it's Cheeseburger. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence in the 47 will round out the field. So here we go, 130 laps of racing action, 110 miles. This is going to be fun. One of the most unique short tracks here on the iRacing platform. One of the most difficult. Who is going to be able to conquer it and who will be defeated here at Iowa? We see Will Witt on Facebook says, Will Witt, exclamation point, exclamation point. Will Witt having a great starting position here tonight. He will start in third, inside second row, right behind the pole sitter. Looking to have a good start here. Got to time it right. Definitely has a good advantage starting right behind the leader. On whatever platform you're watching on, make sure to share the stream. Helps give exposure to the league, the drivers, the sponsors. And who knows, you might know somebody that might like our content but don't know about us. Here we go. And green flag is out here at Iowa Speedway. The Hawkeye 110 is underway. There we see Clint Stone taking off. Up through the gears he goes. Side by side for second between Devin Butchino and Cody Moore. Butchino with the nose on the outside. And we are 3 wide on the backstretch to start this race off. The middle car, Cody Moore, gets a great run heading into turns 3 and 4. And Cody Moore will take the lead and lead the first lap here at Iowa. Side by side for second. We see Devin Butchino is able to get clear of your pole sitter, Clint Stone. Colin Willems runs in fourth, side by side for fifth between Will Witt and Brian Nudie. Nudie with the nose, he is clear, and after a crazy first few laps, we are single file for the first 5 positions. Wow! We were 3 wide on the first lap between Cody Moore, Devin Butchino, and Clint Stone, and shout out to those 3 for keeping it off each other. That could have been bad. We're watching right now Clint Stone try to get back by Devin Butchino for that second place spot. Clint Stone started on the pole, but both Devin Butchino and Cody Moore were able to get by him on that first lap. That time by, both Clint Stone and Devin Butchino ran their personal best lap times of the race. Clint Stone, though, was a little bit slower than Devin that lap. A lot of other drivers ran their personal best lap times as well, including your 4th place driver, Colin Willems, and 5th place driver, Brian Nudie. Clint Stone continues to get faster, a 24.05 for that 99. Continues to try to reel in Devin Butchino for the 2nd place spot. Stone, he was faster than Devin last time by, only by about 300ths though. It's going to take a little bit more than that to make a pass. Devin Butchino slowly but surely is reeling in Cody Moore for the lead. Has it down to less than 3/10. Field very, very bunched up. Nobody's really getting spread out. You got a lot of great battles all throughout the track. We see Colin Willems is beginning to reel in Clint Stone for the third place spot. Great run off of 2 for Colin Willems. That 17 is coming fast. Colin Willems has 2 wins this season. If he wins tonight, he will tie Devin Buchno for most wins this season. Clint Stone all over the back bumper of Devin Buchno. And he's got Colin Willems right behind him. You could throw a blanket over 2nd through 4th right now. What is Clint Stone going to do here? He has been stuck behind Devin Buchno since pretty much the first lap. That time by, Stone was a 10th, or nope, excuse me, he was 300ths faster than Devin Buchno. And look at this, coming off of 2, great run for Colin Willems. He looks low under Clint Stone. They are side by side heading into 3 and 4. Stone with the nose on the outside. They remain side by side here, but Clint Stone is able to get back clear. But Clint Stone now knows, uh-oh, I got to get by Devin fast here because he has a hard-charging Colin Willems right behind him. He looks low once again off of 2. They are side by side heading into 3 and 4. We see Stone still with the nose on the outside, but Colin Willems is coming fast on the bottom. Clint Stone is back clear of Colin Willems. The pressure is definitely on for the 99. As a racer, definitely one of the hardest things is playing offense and defense at the same time. You may know from your history classes, fighting a battle on 2 fronts typically does not work out well. And that is exactly what typically happens to that middle car in these 3-car battles. It is very, very hard to multitask in racing. Clint Stone, good run here on the front stretch. He is right there, right behind Devin. It is kind of early on, though, so you don't want to push it too much. You don't want to wreck your car, because you don't want to wreck out early and just have to sit the rest of the way watching your competitors turn laps. That's no fun at all. So you definitely got to be careful. Clint Stone right on the back bumper of Devin Buchno. He looks low on the front stretch. They are side by side heading into turns 1 and 2. We see Stone with the nose heading off the corner, but great corner exit speed for the 68. Devin fighting back on the outside. They are in almost a stalemate as they head through turns 3 and 4. Buchno back with the nose, and he is back clear of Clint Stone. And now here comes Colin Willems looking above Stone for this 3rd place spot. They are side by side, and look at this. Great run on the outside for Colin Willems. He has the nose heading into 3 and 4. And then here comes Brian Nudie as well. So look at this. We see Colin Willems. He is clear of Clint Stone. Now the battle is on for 4th between Clint Stone and Brian Nudie. The floodgates are opening for that 99. He started the race on the pole. Since then, he has now fallen to the 4th place position. Almost about to fall to 5th here if Brian Nudie can get by him. Nudie with the nose heading into turns 1 and 2. That outside very, very strong right now. I was not expecting that here tonight at Iowa. They remain side by side here. Colin Willems looking low under Devin Buchno for the 2nd place spot. Side by side heading into turns 1 and 2 for Clint Stone and Brian Nudie. Brian Nudie with the nose heading off of turn number 2, and he is clear. Clint Stone has gone from the pole to 5th in only 18 laps. Not the race that Clint has wanted. Here comes Colin Willems looking low for the 2nd place spot. They are side by side heading into turns 1 and 2. Colin with the nose over Devin. But a good run off the corner for the 68. He is back clear of Colin Willems for the second place spot. And here's Colin Willems' former teammate Brian Nudi right behind him. After last season, both drivers went their separate ways. Colin Willems to Wasted Wages Racing and Brian Nudi to CCM. Colin Willems, he is right there on the back bumper of Devin Bucciano. He looks to the outside, heading off a 4, and oh no! Willems tags the outside wall on corner exit, costing him some track position. We see he loses a spot to Brian Nudi and to Clint Stone. So here comes the 28 machine of Brian Nudi, coming up on Devin Bucciano for the second place spot. Brian Nudi looking low, heading off into turn number 1, and he is clear. Brian Nudi to P2 here at Iowa. He is the biggest mover of the race. He started in the 8th place position. Here he is now, only 1 spot away from the lead. But we see Devin Bucciano not letting Brian Nudi get away here. We see Brian Nudi extending that gap a little bit. Clint Stone, big run here in 1 and 2, trying to get up there to Devin Bucciano for that 3rd place spot. Clint Stone, he's coming. Looking high, looking low, trying to set up that pass. Great run off of 4 for the 99. Here he comes, coming up to the back bumper of that 68 machine. He is right there on the back bumper of Devin Bucciano. This is the battle for 3rd, a battle for the chance on a podium, And Clint Stone, he looks high, coming off of 4. They are side by side, heading into 1 and 2. Stone with the nose on the outside. That outside has been strong throughout this race. And a fantastic run off the corner. Clint Stone is to 3rd now. Devin Bucciano trying his best to not let Clint Stone get away. And while all of this crazy stuff has been going on, Cody Moore has gotten his lead up to 2 seconds now over 2nd place Brian Nudi. Cody Moore dominating so far. We have gone green for all 27 laps so far. One of America's newest racetracks, Iowa Speedway, is located in Newton, Iowa, and has been in operation since 2006. The 7/8 mile oval was designed and built under the supervision of NASCAR champion Rusty Wallace at a cost of approximately $70 million. Thus, it's no coincidence that the D-shaped oval is patterned after Richmond International Raceway. Caution flag is out here at Iowa. So far, we have gone caution-free until now. It is time to take a look here at the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind to see exactly what happened here. Ouch. If there's one driver who has had one of the roughest season out of anybody, it is Zachary Cox, and looks like, unfortunately, he was caught up in this incident. Side by side here between Cox and Mark Shavers. And looks like the two make contact on the front stretch. Cox, the only one that gets sideways, tags the outside wall, putting heavy damage on the right side of that machine. We'll watch it one more time. Look to see where Shavers is in contrast to that seam right there. Looks like Shavers' right side raises above that seam. And looks like he kind of gets up there, gets up the track into Cox. Got drivers on pit road here. Cody Moore, Colin Willems, Josh Hall, Brett Myrtle. So we'll see Cody Moore's the first driver off of pit road. Then it is Josh Hall. It's Brett Myrtle. See, Colin Willems is out. Cheeseburger is out. And Zachary Cox is out. So looks like here was the strategies here. Cody Moore, he ended up taking 2 tires. Looks like Josh Hall was gas and go. Brett Myrtle took 2 tires. Colin Willems, I believe, took 2 tires. Cheeseburger, Zachary Cox all did. Actually, Josh Hall may have gotten fuel in right sides. Not sure. So far, with Cody Moore coming in, that will mean that Brian Nudie is in the lead here at Iowa Speedway for the first time tonight. Cody Moore led the first lap and has not looked back ever since. So we are getting ready to go back green here. Brian Nudie will elect to restart on the high side. Below him will be Clint Stone. Behind them we got Devin Bucciano and Blake Hensley. Blake Hensley is actually starting right behind his teammate, Brian Nudie. Both of them drivers for CCM. Here we go. Pace car is in. Green flag is back out here at Iowa Speedway. There is Brian Nudie taking off. Side by side for third between Blake Hensley and Devin Bucciano. Hensley with the nose as we head here through turns 1 and 2. Running that high side, and he is clear. Blake Hensley to 30 is now trying to get by Clint Stone for second. Good corner there for Clint Stone, but looking like a rocket off of 4. Maybe a little bit too much. Hensley tags the outside wall, slowing down his momentum a little bit. Clint Stone now trying to reel in Brian Nudie for your first place spot. Last time by, both of them ran pretty much identical lap times. Blake Hensley coming up on Clint Stone for your second place spot. Hensley restarted in 4th, was able to get by Bucciano on the outside. Is now trying to get back by Clint Stone. Good run off of 2 for that 88 machine. Just continuing to try to set up the pass. Looking to see what Stone is doing, where he's braking, where he's lifting, where he's getting back into the gas. And trying to figure out how he can use that to his advantage. He's also waiting for Clint Stone to make a mistake. Maybe get loose off of a corner, push up off of a corner, and look at that. Hensley is below Clint Stone for the second place spot. They are side by side, heading into 3 and 4. We see Stone. He still has the no, and here comes Cody Moore, making it 3 wide here on the front stretch. Blake Hensley says, I'm backing out of this, and he is going to make it a 2-horse race here for the second place spot. Cody Moore with those fresh tires, and they are paying off. He is able to get by Clint Stone for the 3rd place spot. Hensley looking low under Stone now. They are side by side for the third place position. And here comes Brett Myrtle making it 3 wide once again. Blake Hensley backs off saying, hey, I am not dealing with that. Brett Myrtle with the nose heading into turns 1 and 2. And he is able to get clear. And wow, Brett Myrtle's like a rocket. He is able to get under Brian Nudie now for your second place spot. Brett Myrtle also has fresh tires just like Cody Moore. So that is why those two have just flown up through the field. Brett Myrtle now reeling in Cody Moore for your first place spot. Good run off a 2 for that 11 machine. It looks like he loses him there through 3 and 4. Brett Myrtle driving the hardest we've seen him all race. Yellow flag is out here at Iowa Speedway for the second time tonight. It is time to take a look at here the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind to see exactly what happened. If you're definitely considering have a pizza night, consider Marco's Pizza. So we're watching Blake Hensley here on the backstretch. He's got Clint Stone ahead of him, Colin Willems behind him. Remember, Colin Willems, he has fresh tires. Looks like Blake Hensley a little bit squirrely here through 3 and 4. We see Colin Willems look slow under him. And looks like, I believe, yeah, that was not the caution. I believe this was the stage break here. So drivers coming in, getting repairs done, getting some tires. We see Brett Myrtle is off of pit road. Then it's Zachary Cox. Then it's Joe Wright. Then it's Clint Stone, Brian Nudie, Devin Butchino, Kyle Mays, Will Witt. There's Brian Myrtle Jr., Todd Mays, Eddie Morris, Derek Chaput, Michael Provolt. Side by side, looks like Blake Hensley will beat off Josh Hall off the pits. Michael Lawrence, Mark Shavers, and lastly, David Hartney. Fortunately, it looks like Jeffrey Belk has manually disconnected here at Iowa, so that is unfortunate for the 54. So there we go now. Cody Moore is in the lead. We see, so Cody Moore and Colin Willems were the two drivers that stayed out. They took tires. Brett Myrtle, Zachary Cox, Joe Wright was fuel only for them. The rest of the drivers, Clint Stone, Brian Nudie, Devin Butchino, Kyle Mays, Will Witt, and everybody else took tires. Anyway, as I was saying, the 7/8 of the mile was designed and built under the supervision of NASCAR champion Rusty Wallace at a cost of approximately $7 million. Thus, it's no coincidence the D-shaped oval is patterned after Richmond International Raceway, seen as some of Wallace's greatest success during his career. Iowa Speedway has a seating capacity of more than 30,000, together with a unique multi-tiered recreational vehicle viewing area along its 869-inch long backstretch, a fixture on the NASCAR and IndyCar schedule. Iowa Speedway also boasts a 9-turn, 1.3-mile road course, which utilizes most of the main oval, along with a highly technical infield section, and hosts professional and amateur sports car races. So if you live in the Midwest and are looking for something fun to do, go to a racetrack, I would definitely check out Iowa Speedway. They have most recently. I would probably go check out the IndyCar race. Those cars are absolutely incredible. And on a short track, that is crazy. And unfortunately, I have some news. Jeffrey Belk said that his PC died under caution. So that has a PC dying just cost Jeffrey Belk his race. That is unfortunate right there. Green flag is back out here at Iowa Speedway. There is Cody Moore taking off. Colin Willems right on his back bumper heading into turns 1 and 2. And here is Zachary Cox to the outside of Brett Merle. Good run off of 2 for Colin Willems. He is looking low under Cody Moore for the first place spot. They are side by side. Willems. We see Cody Moore with the nose. 2 teammates battling it out. They are going to race each other probably a little bit cleaner than some of the other drivers in the field would. Each other. Just because they are teammates. We see Willems loses Cody Moore a little bit there. Colin Willems says Brett Merle right on his back bumper. Brett looking low on the front stretch. They are side by side heading into turns 1 and 2. We see Brett Merle with the nose heading off the corner. Clint Stone, he is there as well. Side by side. Colin Willems with the nose heading off of turn number 4. Here's Clint Stone following right behind Colin Willems on the outside. And there is Clint Stone looking low under Willems for second. Side by side between these two. Clint Stone with the nose heading off of turn number 2. And he is almost clear. Yes, he is. Clint Stone now to second. Colin Willems falls to third, and now Clint Stone all over the back bumper of Cody Moore. He looks low on the front stretch. They are side by side. This is the battle for the lead. Stone with the nose heading off of turn number 2, and he is clear. Clint Stone to the first place position after starting on the pole. He is back to where he began. Cody Moore will fall to second now. Colin Willems remains in third. Cody Moore lost the lead. He's dominated for most of this race. Colin Willems now coming up on Cody Moore for your second place position. Again, these two are probably going to race each other cleaner than some of the other drivers on the field will race each other, just because these two are teammates. They have a lot of respect for each other. Colin Willems. And another thing is Colin, of course, again, looking for Cody to make a mistake. Either getting loose off of a corner or getting tight and pushing up off of a corner. As I'm talking about that, Kyle Mays looking low under Colin Willems for your third place position. Side by side off of 4. Mays with the nose as they cross the start-finish line, and they remain side by side here as we head into turns 1 and 2. Kyle Mays, great run, and looks like he's also going to be able to get under Cody Moore for your second place position. Maybe no, maybe not. He is stuck behind Cody Moore. And that is going to give Colin Willems a great run on the outside. Getting a little bit squirrely, though. And Kyle Mays is going to get clear of Colin Willems. And looks like he's also going to have a great run there through 1 and 2. And he gets by Cody Moore. So Kyle Mays now to second. Cody Moore falls to third. Blake Hensley fourth. Hensley looking low under Cody for your your third place position. They are side by side. Cody back clear, though. These two have had many great battles all throughout this season. Can Blake Hensley get by Cody here? Blake Hensley right up to Cody's back bumper. Is he going to try to make a move here in 1 and 2? No, he does not. Yes, he does. He looks low, center of the corner. They are side by side, and the two make contact. Cody Moore's around. He saves it. Blake Hensley will now be in the third place position, And with all of that happening, Cody Moore will fall to 7th. Cody Moore definitely not going to be happy about that. Those two have had an ongoing rivalry all throughout the season. I want to talk about quickly who are my drivers to watch out for. First of all, your leader, Clint Stone, 5 poles this season. He is definitely the fastest driver in the field every single week, but he can't bring it home. And only 4 of those, he's gotten the pole 4 laps, or 4 races, but he's only won 1. So will he make the fraction 2/5 tonight? Another driver, keep your eye out on, is Cody Moore. He fell to 7th after contact between him and Blake Kinsley, but that 52 is still fast, not too much damage. He's going to be working his way up through the field with a chip on his shoulder. Watch out for Brian Nudi, who currently sits in the 20th place position. Rough race for Nudi so far. He got into a wreck during that last restart, or in that last span of a restart. So he's going to just try to work his way up to the field. Brian Nudi has been fast all race long, and don't see why that's going to change even if he's running in 20th. We might see a really cool comeback story from that 28. And lastly, Blake Kinsley. Blake Kinsley has been the short track king as of late, and he is doing very, very well here tonight, running in the 3rd place position. Only has 2 more drivers that he needs to pass, and he will get up to where he's been trying to get to. That's that 1st place position. The South has been successful so far here tonight. Your top 3 are from Tennessee and Kentucky. Both states bitter rivals, especially in college football. Let's see what's going to happen here between Kyle Mays and Blake Kinsley. Blake Kinsley, really good run on that 55 machine coming off of turn number 4. This is the battle for 2nd. And there is Blake Kinsley looking low under Kyle Mays, or he tried to, but he couldn't quite get under him. Blake Kinsley looking high, looking low. He is going to look to the high side, maybe, of Kyle Mays. Nope, he looks low, heading off of turn number 2, but he's going to stay right on the back bumper of that 55. Blake Kinsley, he is right there, but Kyle Mays is putting up quite the fight, holding off Blake Kinsley. Once again, Hensley right up to the back bumper of Kyle Mays. He looks low heading into 3 and 4. They are side by side. Hensley with the nose. Hensley is clear. Blake Kinsley now to 2nd. Kyle Mays, he will fall to 3rd. We are officially halfway through the event here at Iowa. We're about 55 miles through this thing. I think now at this halfway point, this is the perfect opportunity. We are going to turn up the volume here with Pump Up the Intensity. Here you will get to see the sights and hear the sounds of the racetrack. Here we go. But there you have it. That will do it for Pump Up the Intensity. Hopefully you will join us turning up the volume. We set our sights now back to the racing action, where we have a very big battle ensuing for your 4th place position between Will Witt and Devin Buccineau. Buccineau is right there on the back bumper of Will Witt, trying to set up the pass, looking to see what Will is doing, where he's braking, where he's lifting, where he's getting back into the gas, and trying to use that to his advantage. Maybe where Will is getting into the gas, Devin might want to try to get into the gas a little bit earlier. And he's got to just try to adjust his line, adjust his braking points, just where he's initially lifting, to try to finesse the car so he can get back into the gas earlier than Will. We are side by side between Colin Willems and Derek Chappie. Willems is clear now into the 8th place position. And Jeffrey Belk has just called it quits once again. After coming back, he manually disconnects once again. Brian Nudi entering pit lane. This might be the start of green flag pit stops. Or this may be unscheduled. We are going to see what Brian Nudi is going to do to that car. Brian was running in the 20th place position, which is second to last when he came in. Zachary Cox is in as well. So a fast repair for Brian Nudi, and looks like 4 fresh tires are going on that 28 machine. Zachary Cox, also some damage on the front end. He is making his way now onto pit road. A fast repair will also be taken for Zachary Cox. 2 fresh tires are going to be plopped onto that 51 machine. So 2 drivers getting fresh tires, and this will begin the pit cycle here at Iowa. Kyle Mays is reeling back in. Blake Hensley for the 2nd place spot. Earlier in the race, we saw Blake Hensley was able to get by Kyle Mays for the 2nd place position. So what is Kyle Mays going to try to do here? He might want to try to take from what he learned when Blake Hensley got by him, learn from his mistakes, and maybe find out what Blake Hensley is maybe doing wrong, and just try to find where he's vulnerable. We see there we go, Kyle Mays looking low as we head into turns 1 and 2. Joe Wright in the 82 machine, he is down onto pit road. Some fresh Goodyear tire Sunoco fuel going on and into that 82 machine. And Blake Hensley continues to stay ahead of Kyle Mays for the 2nd place position. Mays right there, he's looking low as we head into turns 1 and 2. Almost to the rear quarter panel. He can't quite get there. And here comes Brian Nudi. Nudi is on fresh tires, and he is looking like a rocket right now. Able to fly by both Kyle Mays and Blake Hensley. He is going to set his sights now on your 1st place driver, Clint Stone, and try to get his lap back. Mays looking low, heading off of turn number 2. Trying to find any sort of way to get under Blake Hensley for your 2nd place spot. Blake Hensley has had a very, very good race so far. But he's got still a lot of pressure from behind from Kyle Mays. Good run on the front stretch for Mays. He is trying to get up there. Kyle Mays, he has a win this season. If I'm not mistaken. No, he does not. Thought he did, but still, Very good season so far for Kyle Mays. Colin Willems is in now. Heavy damage to the front end of that 17. Believe we'll see him take a fast repair and, of course, put some fresh tires onto that Camaro. But it's hard to look away from this battle between Blake Kinsley and Kyle Mays. Hasn't really gone anywhere, though, since we've been looking at it. Kyle Mays has really struggled to get by Blake Kinsley. He's had some really good runs, like we saw right there through 3 and 4. Getting closer and closer to that back bumper. Kyle Mays, he is coming fast. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence is into the pits here. Fresh Goodyear tires for that 47 machine. Kyle Mays continuing to try to get by Blake Kinsley for your second place spot. Let's take a look at the cockpit cam of Kyle Mays. Really driving it through the corner hard. Just trying to get every ounce of strength from that 55 machine. And look at this, Cody Moore is into the pits now. Same thing with his teammate Derek Chaput. Following of the footsteps of their teammate Colin Willems, Brett Merle is in as well. Clint Stone continues to stay out along with second and third place drivers Blake Kinsley and Kyle Mays. Kyle Mays continues to try to get by Blake Kinsley for the second place spot. We saw he tried to look low there heading into one, but he couldn't quite get under that 88 machine. And look at this, in a plot twist, yellow flag is out here. We are going to see exactly what happened here with the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind. I said it. In this race, you got to watch out for these short track shenanigans. We were 3 wide heading into 1 and 2 between Zachary Cox, Colin Willems, Todd Mays. That did not end well. A race car sandwich. Like Cox got loose and just looks like Cox came down and Todd came up and Colin Willems was just trying to hold his line in the middle, and it just, they all met and it just created a domino effect. Cox into the wall. So the whole field into the pits. First driver off of pit road is Eddie Morse, then it's Clint Stone, then it's Blake Kinsley, Kyle Mays, Will Witt, Josh Hall, Joe Wright, Dan Butchino. Looks like Eddie Morse, he took right sides only. And that will put him in the lead ahead of your second place driver, Clint Stone. But I think Stone will be able to get by him very quickly. His 4 fresh tires are definitely better than 2. I want to do one of our Marco's Pizza driver spotlights of the race right now. Talk a little bit about one of our drivers. So we're going to be talking about Dave right here. Or actually, no, he's not in this race tonight. Let's see here. Let's talk. Trying to find somebody here. Let's talk a little bit about Derek Chaput. So he runs the number 37 with Wasted Wages, and the extent of his real-life racing is drag racing street cars. He is 26 and lives in Petawawa, Ontario, Canada. He's lived in the area his whole life and has done very little traveling. The farthest he's ever been from home is Mississauga, sorry if I butchered that, which is about 5 hours by car. He is engaged and has the most amazing little 3-year-old girl, Paisley, whom he loves more than anything. He is a licensed automotive service technician and worked in a garage where he felt like he was going nowhere for 7 years, so he switched over to selling new and used car parts new and used car parts at Valley Automotive in Pembroke. He was fortunate to not be affected work-wise by the super scary COVIDs, so he is not a pandemic racer. He started racing in January of 2021, and actually, Logan Hagerman convinced him to buy a computer and join iRacing, which he did, and he found the league at the time in iOS, and the rest is history. He was voted most improved driver in the league at one point, and then he said he fell apart. So there you go. That is some information on Derek Chaput, who will be restarting in 17th here. Green flag is back out here. Eddie Morris taking off. We are side by side for second. And here comes Clint Stone side by side for first. We see two cars hard into the outside wall. Your caution flag is out. So let's take a look at the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind to find out exactly what happened. I saw just two cars just get absolutely slammed into the wall. So here is a look at exactly what happened here. Side by side between Joe and Brett Merle. And we see Brett gets into the rear quarter panel of Todd Mays, just sent it into the corner. The two get sideways. Colin Willems gets involved. Then Brett Merle just goes up right into Joe Wright. Both of them hard into the wall. Chaput, Brian Nudie, all of them getting collected. So we are back under caution here. We do have a driver statement from Intensity DBC Racing driver Jeffrey Belk. Normally I try to keep things professional and mention things like mechanical failures. I cannot do this tonight. During the stage break in tonight's event, The number 54 team suffered a out-of-memory crash. This takes the number 54 team out of contention to make the championship. An unfortunate end to what was looking to be a great fight. Sorry to hear that, Jeff. You were looking very, very good tonight. And that always sucks when stuff like that happens. When it's not... Of course, it always is unfortunate when something happens, in the race. Contact with other drivers. Motor blows up. But, if something happens outside the car, whether it's, a computer failure or whatnot, that's always unfortunate. So, sorry, Jeff, you got knocked out of playoff contention, but you still might be able to put up a good fight and just try to get as high in the point standings as possible. I want to talk about our other Marco's Pizza driver spotlight of the race driver, Brian Merle Jr. Brian Merle Jr. is 32 years old. His recent nicknames include the Chatman Man, the Chat Band Man, but his main name is Junior, and he's the driver of the Neon Racing McKinleyville Barbershop 74 Ford F-150 and Xfinity Mustang. He was the Season 1 SCSRA All-Star winner. He's been on iRacing technically since July of 2017. He went full at it in 2020, and he raced mini stocks in Northern California with his dad and his brother. He's a huge Hamlin fan and Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He enjoys the on and off track banter in the group, and everybody in the group makes him strive to be better every week. So, Derek Chaput, Brian Merle Jr., those are your two driver spotlights of the week. If you want the most authentic Italian pizza, Marco's Pizza is the way to go. They are dedicated to authentic Italian pizza with a taste that makes their guests let out the ah of satisfaction. So go look on Google Maps and see if you have a Marco's Pizza near you, and I'm sure they have, depending on location, they have different options, including curbside pickout, takeout, and delivery. Been to Marco's Pizza too many times to count. And it is the most authentic, just some of the best pizza I've ever had. Primo pizza for sure, so go check them out. Green flag is back out here at Iowa Speedway. There's Clint Stone taking off. Kyle Mays coming up right behind him. These two are teammates. And right behind them, we are side by side for third between Blake Kinsley and Will Witt. We see Blake Kinsley. He has the nose over Will as we head through turns 3 and 4. Great run, though, on the bottom for Will Witt. Hensley still with the nose, but he is stuck behind Kyle Mays. So what is Blake Hensley going to do here? He's going to maybe try to... Oh, Blake Hensley into the back bumper of Kyle Mays. But that actually cost Blake some momentum, allowing Will Witt to get side by side with him. He has the nose over Blake, and they remain side by side here through 3 and 4. Coming off of 4, we see Will Witt with the nose, and they remain side by side on the front stretch. Clint Stone, your leader, just ran his personal best lap time of the race as he is going to try to get a gap between him and the rest of the field. Blake Hensley is clear of Will Witt now for your third place position. Kyle Mays currently sits in second now. But Kyle Mays has Blake Hensley all of the back bumper. These two are resuming what all happened during the last green flag run that we had. They're side by side. Coming off of 2, they trade a little bit of paint, I believe. Side by side, heading into 3 and 4. Great run on the bottom for Hensley. And he is clear with the crossover from Kyle Mays on the front stretch. Mays with the nose. He is clear. Kyle Mays now to second. So now, Will Witt trying to look back low under Blake Hensley for your third place position. Hensley still trying to maybe get that second place spot back from Kyle Mays. Blake Hensley here. He looks low heading into turns 3 and 4. They are side by side. Hensley couldn't quite get a good enough run to get clear of Kyle Mays, so he's going to try it all over again. Trying to get by Kyle Mays here. Kyle Mays definitely doing a good job playing defense. "25 laps to go here at Iowa Speedway. And the battle is on for your second place position between Kyle Mays and Blake Hensley. Great run for Blake as we head into turns 3 and 4. That 88 is looking fast right now. Blake Hensley searching for his second win of the season. His other win came at Richmond earlier this season. Side by side off a 2 for Blake Hensley. But he falls back in line behind the 55. "23 laps to go now here at Iowa. Blake Hensley. Won at Richmond earlier this season. We know Iowa, very, very similar to Richmond. I think a lot of us expected that Blake Hensley was going to be very fast here tonight. Watch him. All over the back bumper of Kyle Mays, looking to try to make something happen. Looking low. Whew. Blake Hensley right there. Diving down into turns 3 and 4. Blake Hensley also has some pressure from Will Witt, who is right behind him in 4th. And then Brian Merle Jr., he is in 5th. So 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and 5th. Throw a blanket over them. This is going to get good here between these 4. Will Witt looking low under Blake Hensley, but all he really was able to do... Oh, good run off of 2. Can he get under him? No, he cannot. So Blake Hensley will remain. Nope. 3 and 4. Side by side between Will Witt and Blake Hensley. Hensley with the nose off of 4. And he is not quite. Good run on the bottom from Will Witt. They are side by side, heading off of turn number 2. Almost trading paint there. Brian Merle Jr. looking to the high side above Will Witt. Merle Jr. with the nose trying to follow right behind Blake Hensley here. They are side by side heading off of turn number 2. And he is clear. Brian Merle Jr. is to 4th now. Will Witt falls to 5th. Blake Hensley coming up now on Kyle Mays still for the 2nd place spot. It has been the Clint Stone show since the last restart. He remains in the lead. And here is Brian Merle Jr. looking low under Blake Hensley for your third place spot. Hensley remains in the lead on the high side, and he is back cleared of Brian Merle Jr. Blake Hensley will stay in third now. Trying his best to hang on. Brian Merle Jr. looking low, heading off of turn number 4. He is there. Side by side, heading into turns 1 and 2 between Brian Merle Jr. and Blake Hensley. 14 laps to go here. Side by side off of 4. Hensley still with the nose on the outside, but finally, great run heading into 1 and 2 for Brian Merle Jr. The scales have shifted. Blake Hensley, though, fighting back on the outside. That outside has been strong all race long. Hensley with the nose on the front stretch. They are side by side still heading into turns 1 and 2. Stalemate pretty much between these two heading through the corners. And Blake Hensley looks like he is going to be almost clear. Not quite. And this is going to get interesting. Hensley and Brian Merle Jr. are coming up on Brian's brother, Brett, who is lap traffic. Will Brett try to block Blake here? Yes, it looks like he is. We see Brett goes right in front of Blake Hensley, and Blake is going to go under Brett, making it 3 wide for just a second. Brett's probably on the voice chat like, man, I tried to help him out as much as I could. 10 laps to go here at Iowa Speedway. The Hawkeye 110 is winding down. Still side by side, heading into turns 3 and 4 between Brian Merle Jr. and Blake Hensley. Brian Merle Jr. is clear. Blake Hensley is to third, and Will Witt is looking to follow right behind Hensley. He is. He gets by Hensley, and now he is under Brian Merle Jr. for the third place spot. That wasted wages 35 is looking fast here. Will Witt searching for his first win of the season. Will it come tonight? He still has to get by Brian Merle Jr. for even a chance at a podium. And Blake Hensley tags the outside wall. That will slow him down momentum-wise. We see Jakester Shows Racing on YouTube. He does the sunglasses emoji. Thanks for tuning in tonight, Jacob. You picked an awesome race to tune into here at Iowa Speedway. Winding down has been awesome racing from the green flag to right now. We're watching to see if Will Witt can get up to Brian Merle Jr. for the third place position. Looks like Brian Merle Jr. is trying his best to extend that gap. Blake Hensley hanging out in the 5th place spot, just trying to find any sort of speed to potentially get by Will Witt for the 4th place position. Looking to see what Will is doing, where he's braking, where he's lifting, where he's getting back into the gas. Trying to use that to his advantage here with 5 laps to go. It's time to hit the loud pedal here at Iowa. Brian Merle Jr. reeling in Kyle Mays for your 2nd place position. Here comes Brian off of 2. Great run for the 74 Dev Sports Cards machine. Here we go. 3 laps to go. Brian Merle Jr. all over the back bumper of the 55. He is right there. We see he gives him a little love tap heading off of turn number 2. Letting them know, hey, I'm here. And then right behind them is Will Witt, making this a 3-horse race for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place positions. And there we go. Brian Merle Jr. looking low as we head into turns 1 and 2. They are side by side. Mays with the nose on the outside. And looks like that is, we'll see, Brian Merle Jr. is in trouble. Will Witt, great run on the outside. Final lap for Clint Stone. Clint won earlier this season. Has gotten 4 poles. Got a 5th one tonight. Has definitely been the fastest driver week in and week out here in the SCSRA Xfinity Series. And he is going to add win numero dos to the win column. Clint Stone will win the Hawkeye 110 here at Iowa. Kyle Mays takes 2nd place, and Brian Merle Jr. will get the podium here tonight and finish 3rd. Awesome, awesome race here at Iowa. And the fireworks are being ignited here at Iowa Speedway. So here we go. Look at that, a Maze Mafia 1-2 here. Clint Stone with the 1st, Kyle Mays with the 2nd. Of course, Neon Racing's Brian Merle Jr. was able to bring home a podium here tonight. Look at that, a little group photo for your top 3. There we see the Legends Oval in view, which have Legends cars and Bandoleros run on that track. It is now time for the driver interviews. We're going to talk to your top 3 to see their take on tonight's events. First driver we're going to be waiting for to hop in the waiting room is McKinleyville, California's Brian Merle Jr. We're going to pull him in right now. He was your SCSRA Season 1 All-Star winner. He's a barber in California by day and a racer by night. It is Brian Merle Jr. Brian, this is Atlee in the broadcast room. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, awesome podium here tonight at Iowa. I know, really didn't say your name too much until in that last green flag run where we saw you were really able to work up through the field with those fresh tires, and you were able to, first of all, get by Blake there for the 3rd place position. A great pass on him, and then after that, it was just holding off Will for 3rd, and you're just able to hang on to it. I know Will was just right there the entire time, giving you a ton of pressure, and got the podium here tonight. So, I mean, how does it feel? What was your take?
Oh, man, I love this track, first off. I don't know why. Dev and I run usually pretty good here, and he helped me out a lot last season here, and so a lot of credit goes to him for showing me how to run this place. And, you know, awesome battles with Will. The Blake battle, man, I know we were crowding, each other pretty good, but we never touched, and just want to thank him for just a fun, I don't even know how many laps that was, but it was fun. It was hard. The bottom was hard to pass.
Now, I know here at this track, the right front and right rears get absolutely destroyed. How are your tires there at the end of the race?
I never looked at the end of the race, but I was really good through the first run of 40 laps. I think I had 86% on my right front. And the second run was 50 laps, and I had 76. So I felt like I was doing a good job managing the tires. I had a lot of roll still left in it. I was rolling the center pretty good. I got into Kyle's bumper, just rolling the center better than him. I mean, it was a slight tap, but I felt like that's where I was making my ground, was just the center of the corner. I wasn't using too much brake. I was off the gas a long time, and I was able to get back to the gas when I wanted to.
Before we let you go, Brian, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Yeah, Dev Sports Cards, New Craft Fine Jewelry, McKinleyville Barbershop, my girlfriend for letting me do this, my teammates. Jake wasn't here tonight, but he's becoming a pretty good teammate, and Dev and Brett, always good teammates. You guys for putting it on, intensity, just a fun night of racing. I've been kind of in the dumps lately, and as far as this Xfinity goes, not really running where I want to be, and so it's cool to get out here on podium.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the podium here tonight, Brian, and hopefully we might see a couple more throughout the season. Have a great rest of your night.
Hey, thanks, bud.
Yep. All right. We are now going to be pulling in your second place finisher from Harrison, Tennessee, member of the Mays Mafia. It is Kyle Mays. Kyle, this is Atlee in the broadcast room. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Atlee.
Awesome. Well, great run here tonight with the runner-up finish. I know we started off there during that second stint. You're able to get past Blake Hensley for that second place position, and it was just kind of holding off Blake there. You two were battling out. Then, of course, caution flag came out. Everybody was on an equal playing field with the tires, and then y'all two just resumed and just battling it out, and eventually you're able to just get a decent gap between you and Blake, and then, of course, between you and Brian Merle Jr. and Will Witt and that whole battle, and just couldn't quite get up there to Clint, but still awesome run throughout the race. I mean, what was your take?
Race for me. I mean, I'll take it the way my year has went. I knew I didn't have nothing for Clint, but I felt like I was good enough to be the second place car. Cody was good. He just I don't know on his tires when he pitted there. I think he got messed up a little bit because he said that the caution come out when he was in the pits.
I got you. Well, I was talking to Brian about how the, right fronts, right rears getting very, very worn out here at Iowa. How are your tires feeling there at the end of the race?
At the very end, I wore them out. Clint had better tires than I did at the end, but I was trying to push all I could just to keep Blake and everybody behind me. It's very hard to pass once you get going there. I mean, it's pretty much you just got to stay in the middle lane and keep it straight. The only other way to pass is kind of just throw it in there real hard underneath somebody, I guess, and that's really the only way I could get by anybody.
Got you. Well, before we let you go, Kyle, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Yeah, I want to thank Clint and Todd and Mark. We've been getting a little better here and there, so I know Clint's been helping me and Todd and Mark, even on the official races that we've been running. We've been getting a little better, so I'd like to thank Cody too, because he pissed me off before we got in the race. He sent me a message. He said, last night I had the pole in the trucks. He's like, why can you qualify, but you run like garbage? And I was like, well, I'm not going to run like garbage tonight. So I had to back that up. Oh,
yeah, you certainly backed it up. So, man, great night with the Mays Mafia 1-2 and the second place finisher tonight. So congrats, Kyle, and hopefully we'll see a lot of other successful performances.
Appreciate it, Atlee.
Yep, no problem. And now it is time to pull in your winner for the second time this season. The man from Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's Clint Stone. Clint, this is Atlee in the broadcast room. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Awesome. Well, win number 2 for the season here at Iowa tonight. And what a run you had. I know really didn't see you up the front there for the first portion of the race, but to start that third stint after that caution flag came out, you're able to get by Eddie and just led the rest of the way here at Iowa. Had a very, very fast Mustang here tonight, and of course another awesome performance from the Maze Mafia. 1-2 finish tonight.
Yeah, that was I mean, that was a pretty good race. I tried to do the usual lap one spin after I get the pole, but I managed to hang on to third. I thought that's where I gave it away, but then the caution just felt like they did, and it worked out. But yeah, that last stint, I was gonna go all the way on fuel to mess with Cody, but I was the first one on tires, so once I got to the lead, I just felt like I had to go back to their strategy, and I guess it worked out. I don't think we didn't have no green flag pit stop. We were maybe like 2 or 3, 5 laps away from pitting when it come out. So I guess a few people got trapped a lap down maybe, but yeah. Usually when I lead at the end, the caution flies. So I was just waiting on the guys who didn't take tires, who still had a set. I was waiting on the caution so they could just come through the field.
I know you won last night at Las Vegas. You won here tonight. I mean, how does it feel to get 2 wins in 1 week?
Well, I mean, it feels pretty good. I feel like I gave a few away, and nice when it works out. Everything goes good, and you get one that goes a full run, or at least some good, a good run to the finish, say, not just a shootout.
Absolutely. Well, before we let you go, Clinton, is there any sponsors or shout-outs you'd like to thank for your win?
Yeah, all the Maze guys, Mark, good run for Kyle. I think he got quite a few points this week. But yeah, and then you for putting the broadcast on.
We definitely had fun broadcasting this race tonight, watching you beat the field here tonight at Iowa. So again, congrats on the win, and hopefully we might see a couple more throughout the season.
That's good. Appreciate it.
Yep. Well, that will do it for tonight's event. One more time, congrats to Clint Stone on the win. And I want to first of all thank all of the league admins: Brian Nudie, Eddie Morris, Michael Provolt, Devin Butchino, Stephen Black, and Sylvan Seguin for all that they do for this league. Without them, this league would not run as smoothly as it does. Thank you to league sponsor Dev Sports Cards for all of their support. Make sure to check out their Facebook, eBay, Instagram, Twitter for more information on the company. Make sure to go check out Butt Kicker at thebuttkicker.com and just check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one is right for you. And of course, thank you to Marco's Pizza for sponsoring the Wreckage Rewind and Driver Spotlight of the Week. Make sure to visit their website, marcospizza.com, and see how you can get some of the most authentic Italian pizza around. Of course, I want to thank all the viewers for tuning in to watch the broadcast tonight. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as that would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to reach our goals of 2,500 followers on Facebook, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and 1,000 followers on Twitch. Check out our Twitter, Intensity Broad 1. We're always dropping polls and interacting with our viewers on there. And make sure to check out our web store, intensitybroadcasting.com. There you can find all of our Intensity Broadcasting merch, all of my At Louise Racing merch. I race in real life, so all of my merchandise is on there. We have a bunch of auto racing novelty t-shirts, including the Pucker Moment shirt. We have a Cautions Breed Caution shirt. We just unveiled our first ever driver collection with the Carson Hayslip collection. Carson Hayslip is the driver of the number 08 Legend car with Dylan Spain Motorsports. He races all across the East Coast and is a Legend car, and there you can find Carson Hayslip beanies, hats, fleece vests, packable jackets, polo shirts, And then, of course, we have all of our league collections. Especially make sure to check out the SCSRA collection and pick up some SCSRA bubble-free stickers, an SCSRA photo paper poster, or an SCSRA t-shirt. I'm Atlee Atman-Least on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Over and out.